Right. It is about that time. So if you're tuning in online, doesn't matter which way your mat is facing today. Lots of times I have it horizontal to the screen. It does not matter today. We'll start with a little grounding meditation. So finding a very comfortable position, either seated with your spine tall or lying on your back, whatever feels easiest for you. Starting to bring your awareness to the room that you're in, noticing the walls around you, noticing the space between your body and the walls, feeling the ground beneath you. And we'll start to deepen our breath into the rib cage, noticing wherever the breath is landing, allowing it to go deeper, inviting room for your breath to move all the way into your hips. And if it feels comfortable for you, you can start to bring your awareness into the hips, into that root chakra, that base chakra. And once again, I like to remind everyone that this is your class. If I ever take your mind or movement in a direction that doesn't feel supportive for you, always feel free to redirect your mind or your body in a way that is really helpful for you today. So the awareness was at the root chakra. That can be our most grounding chakra. So we'll start imagining that we have some roots growing from the base of our spine into your legs, out through your feet, out through the base of your spine, into the mat beneath you, into the floor beneath you, spreading all around the yoga studio, wherever you're watching from, into the ground, into the dirt, letting those roots grow deeper, deeper. Maybe they get so deep that they reach the tectonic plates. They go through all the layers of the earth. Yes, these are some really fast growing roots until they make it all the way into the core of the earth. And when your roots reach the core, this is nice, warm, hot lava, like a nice hot bath, as hot as feels comfortable for your roots to reach. And on your inhale, you can start to draw up that purifying hot lava energy up through your roots into the base of your spine, in through your feet, up through your legs, into the body. And whenever you inhale, you're drawing up very purifying lava energy, safe, purifying, grounding, hot lava energy that's purifying anything that doesn't feel comfortable in the body at this moment. And on your exhale, send anything that doesn't feel comfortable out through the roots into the core of the earth to get recycled, and that hot lava is energy for earth to recycle for you. Breathing in, maybe drawing that lava up a little higher into the body, maybe staying with any place that feels like you're really starting to move through and recycle any stagnant or uncomfortable energy, letting the lava stay in that spot for a little while. And then on the exhale, sending whatever no longer feels good for your body back into the earth so that it can use it as energy to recycle. A few more times here, maybe 2 or 3 breaths until you bring that energy all the way up to the crown of the head and then out through your lava roots. We are in the middle of Aries season, and we've had a lot of things going on in Aries. We had a Venus retrograde in Aries. We had Mercury retrograde in Aries. We had a recent eclipse in Aries. So Aries is that kind of hot energy. Aries is the spring. Aries is the spark that lights the fire. Aries is that impulse of spring, of energy that desires to come out. So we have a lot of this kind of intense energy. So it can be nice to ground to something that can remind us of Aries, of hot lava during this time that also feels grounding. So working with that kind of heat and that fire in a way that settles you. If you're not already, we'll very gently and slowly make our way onto our back. And we'll just very gently start warming up the core. So taking your knees as if you're sitting in a chair while you're lying down, starting to find a nice long line between the crown of your head all the way through the tailbone, pulling the spine nice and long, elongating it. And to wake up the core, rather than sucking the belly in, you can think about bracing with your core. So, kind of pushing the stomach out in a controlled way. You can take your pinky to the very inside of your hips to eat. So both of your pinkies to the very inside of your hip and pushing your core muscles into your pinky on the inside of your hip. And then you can take your thumbs to the bottom of your rib cage so that you're creating kind of a little rectangle with your thumbs and your pinkies to kind of remind your core to push into those fingers to stay engaged. And we'll start lowering one heel at a time and lifting it back up just as far as feels comfortable, lowering a heel down towards the mat. Maybe exhaling as you draw that heel back up. Maybe inhaling as the opposite heel lowers down, exhaling as it comes back up. Just to warm up the core so that we have some stability and safety in our movements today. And if you'd like, you can think about settling out the feet as you do this, seeing if you can make it a little bit graceful and fluid, maybe extending the knee just a little bit as you take it down. Eventually, we'll lift both of our feet and hands up to the ceiling and shake out the feet, shake out the hands. And when you feel settled with shaking it out, you can start rolling the feet and the hands around in circles. Do you want to slow down this movement at all so that you can really notice all of the ways that your joints are feeling? Sometimes it can feel calming to slow down the movement as if you're rolling your hands in circles through molasses, giving yourself permission to really be present right now. We'll start bringing those knees into the chest, taking the hands, maybe guiding the knees into the chest and away from the chest so that you very gently massage out your sacrum, your low back. Option to take the knees in some circles to massage out the sacrum. You can engage the core as little or as much as you want here. Maybe take one knee into the chest at a time while you push the other away. And one way or another, we'll make our way to a seated position. You can get there by rocking back and forth, or you can roll onto a side as you make your way up to a seated position. Whatever way feels easiest for you. And when you get there, we'll take our feet out in front of us, just a little bit wider than hips width distance, maybe about as wide as your mat. And we'll start taking the knees from side to side. So taking the knees down to one side. Option to let the hip lift as the knees come down to the side. Maybe on the inhale, knees come up. On the exhale, knees come down. Option to let that hip lift up. Slowing it down. Maybe finding a soft gaze here, even closing the eyes if it helps you really get into your zone. Once again, giving yourself permission to move as if you're going through molasses so that you can really start to notice all the sensations that are happening in your body. Is there anywhere where you want to pause for a moment, where you're really starting to feel a sense of relief or expansion in these movements? Is there anywhere that feels like a really satisfying stretch? And if you want to pause anywhere, just take a moment to take a breath into that area where you're starting to feel that sense of relief. And we'll all land, if you haven't landed already, with our knees to the left side. And if you'd like, you can take your hand to that top hip and very gently guide the hip up and guide it back down. Being very, very kind to your body here. Starting to wake up the sacral chakra. We woke up the root chakra. Now we're waking up the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is very associated with fluidity and with emotional healing, and with healing the body, moving in ways that feel good. And then option to start taking your hands along with this movement. Maybe when your hip comes up, your hand rotates around to the back of the room. As your hip comes down, maybe your elbow reaches for behind your back. So moving in and out of some spinal twists, allowing yourself to find some freedom with the way that you're moving your arm. So checking inward, what way feels really satisfying and interesting and expressive for me to move my arm right now? Maybe one or two more breaths here. Allowing the hips to come back down. Both knees come up towards the ceiling and then land on the right side of the mat. Option once again to guide that hip up and down with the hand. Pausing anywhere that feels supportive to your body. Option to move the hand along, finding some creative expression. Moving in and out of a small spinal rotation. Eventually letting that hip come back down. We'll cross one ankle over the other and plant our knees down on the mat in front of us, allowing our toes to plant behind us. You can push your heels slightly back here and let your head rock down. So, rounding the spine in a little crouch, breathing. Option here to open up into Malasana, into a little yogi squat. And you can take this as a passive yogi squat or as an active one. So you can engage your thighs and you can push your elbows into the insides of your knees, meeting your thighs and your calves. You can start to engage the core, once again, how we were doing earlier. Or you can just take this as a passive resting position. You choose today what is going to be most helpful for you, what's going to help you relax or engage. Eventually, rotating into a forward fold, sending those hips up towards the ceiling, allowing the head to be heavy, shaking the head yes, shaking the head no. Inhaling up to a halfway lift here. Exhaling down into a forward fold. Options to take the right arm up to the ceiling, extending that right leg into a little half twist. Exhaling, taking it back down, opposite side. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling, left leg extends. Breathing. Exhaling, taking it back down. And you choose. Will either meet in mountain pose by rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, or you can circle sweep your arms with a flat back. We'll all meet with our hands together at the top, holding the breath for just a moment. Exhaling, hands come down in mountain pose. Inhaling, circle sweeping those hands up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, taking the hands back down into a forward fold. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling into chair pose. Inhaling, standing up. And exhaling, taking the hands back down. Ooh, we got some rays coming in, some sun rays coming in. Great. Taking a moment to settle at the top here. We'll start very gently moving down and up, in and out of Malasana. So moving down as far as you want to go can just be this far, or moving all the way down into Malasana. And then on your exhale, pushing back up. Inhale, taking it down as far as feels comfortable for you. And on the exhale, pushing the energy up and out so that your hands maybe come into a star pose. Inhaling, exhaling, pushing that energy up and out. Maybe taking the hands back down and around. Exhale. So as the hands come down, you can start to think about sweeping up that earth energy that we were grounding to before. And as you come up, dragging that earth energy up through the core and then pushing up out through the heart like a fountain, pushing that energy out and around you, creating a healing field and of energy around you. An option while you're doing this, when you come to the top, to extend one foot and tap into alternate feet, going down as much as feels comfortable. So once again, we're taking that earth energy, moving it up like Aries, right? Like that spark, that bursting energy that wants to come up out of us, just like the spring. Taking that potential, moving it through the heart, pushing it out. And you don't even have to go all the way low to do this. Getting in the zone here. Option to make this into maybe a full balance at the top, lifting one foot completely off, or keeping that grounding by keeping the toe pointed. Few more times until you feel satisfied. You'll eventually come to some stillness. Standing with the feet a little bit wider than hips with distance and more of a goddess position here. We'll eventually be bending in and out of goddess. We'll bring some love to the neck. So taking some circles with the neck, rotating the ear, the head from side to side, bringing the ear to the shoulder, dropping the chin into the chest, rotating the ear to the opposite shoulder. Not moving too fast, no rush. Slowing it down. Being very gentle with the neck here. Option to take your hands to the back of the neck and give yourself a little neck massage. maybe moving down into just above the shoulders. Breathing. Where is the breath landing? Can you bring that breath into the belly? Slow. You can welcome that breath into the hips as well if it feels called to move there. Starting to take some circles with the shoulders here. Opposite direction, rotating those shoulders forward. Really got the sun coming in. Options to start moving the arms with those shoulder rolls. And if the spine starts to move with this motion, allowing that to happen. Once softening the gaze, if that helps you really land in your body here, land into the rhythm of the way that your body is feeling called to move. Taking the opposite direction, circling back around behind you, allowing as the shoulder blades reach for each other in the back, allowing the tailbone to stick out behind you. And then as the shoulders reach for each other in the front, allowing the tailbone to tilt towards the front. Inhaling, expanding, coming to a full cat and cow spine in this motion. Next time you come to that rounded spine, option to really bend the knees here and to take one hand to the shoulder blade behind you and then take the opposite hand to the shoulder blade behind you. Let the head hang heavy, bend the knees here. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe swaying from side to side. Allow yourself to just rest and support yourself for just a moment. Maybe once again, opening back up. And if you'd like, if you want to get the legs more engaged here, we can start moving in and out of goddess pose, bending the legs and extending. Inhaling as the arms come up, exhaling as the arms come down. I always like to give us some time to get creative with the arms here. So option to bring the arms out straight in front of you, option to bring the arms out diagonally or all the way around you. You can circle the arms in front of you as they come up. You can think about keeping the arms straight as they come up or bending the elbows as they come down. So really allowing yourself to have some just creative movement with your arms here. And if you want to get a little bit more creative than moving your arms in a mirrored way, you can move one arm at a time. Maybe at the top, you take one arm down and reach the opposite arm for the side of the room. Inhaling, reaching the arm for the opposite side of the room. Option to take one arm behind you at a time. Another option to sweep one arm diagonally across the body, even extending that same leg, taking it down, sweeping one arm across. You can imagine as if you're playing around with some energy here. Maybe when you take that energy down, you take it into your chest and push the energy out and away from your chest, circularly around you. Maybe taking 3 or 4 more breaths, being creative with the arms. We'll let the feet come to meet each other a little bit more closely in the front of the mat. Inhaling, taking those arms up one last time, holding that breath at the top. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step back into a plank or a knee plank, whatever you're feeling up for right now. Maybe holding that energy for a little bit, holding that contraction in the core. Eventually lowering the hips down, however feels comfortable, completely onto your belly. Taking a moment to land, breathing. Option to cross your forearms over each other and plant your cheek on your forearm. Taking a moment to feel your stomach completely supported by the mat and the ground below you. Seeing if you can find a sense of relief here. So we've been trying to resource into grounding and freeing energy and trying to move in ways that feel natural for the body and hopefully supportive. So take a moment to notice, do you feel the same as when you came in? No judgment, no expectations. Just noticing if your energy feels the same or any different. Anything feels different, where does it feel different? Maybe notice 3 places that feel different in your body right now from when you walked in. And then take a moment. Do any of those places feel better or worse, or just different? Maybe not better or worse. And now is a good time to really start bringing some awareness to anywhere that is still feeling a bit unsettled in the body. Is there anywhere that isn't fully bought into feeling safe and present? Is there anywhere that might be holding some tension or some pain? Do you have any injuries? So bringing the awareness to maybe one spot that's kind of talking to you, saying, I'm feeling tense, or I'm feeling some hurt, or I'm just not fully relaxed yet. So bringing the awareness there. And we'll start for a moment by just choosing that spot with our awareness and letting that part of your body know that you see it and that you're with it, that you're willing to be present with it for just this moment. And seeing if there's a way for you to access a sense of compassion. What does compassion feel like for you? Seeing if you can start to bring some compassion and awareness to wherever is calling to you. Starting to expand your breath into that part of the body. Even if it's a part of the body that the breath doesn't reach, imagining energetically sending that expansion and relief of breath into that area. If that part of you could make a sound, what would the sound be? If it could say something, what would it say? On the inhale, really bringing some more expansion and breath and healing energy to that spot. Maybe holding the breath at the top, imagining that relief starting to expand. And on the exhale, imagining that sense of relief expanding to the surrounding muscles. One more time, breathing in, holding that breath at the top, letting that sense of relief build as you hold the breath. Exhale, let that sense of relief expand to the surrounding muscles. Very, very gently and at your own pace, we'll find our blocks and our bolster. We'll place our two blocks about blocks with distance apart. And take the bolster on top of the blocks. And then we'll kind of straddle the bolster and relax down, down, down into a supported child's pose here. Once again, allowing your stomach to feel held and supported. Taking a deep breath in. On the exhale, letting it go. Taking another deep breath in. The exhale, maybe a little sound comes out, maybe a little sound. Letting it go. Breathing in. Stops and just let it. Two more times here, breathing in. Exhale. One more time, breathing in. On the exhale. So we attuned to a part of ourselves that needed some attention. Now we're allowing ourselves to gently collapse for a moment in case that took a little energy. Sometimes it does take some energy. So you can start to take your right hand or your left hand. You'll start taking your left hand to your left knee, to the ground in front of your left knee. You'll very gently push into your left hand as your left shoulder reaches a little bit up towards the ceiling. Then maybe exhale, let it go. On the inhale, pushing into your hand, rotating into a little mini twist up towards the ceiling. Exhale, letting go. Breathing in and out of opening in and out of just the tiniest bit of expansion and contraction here. The tiniest bit of opening up the heart chakra and closing it. And the other side, this time the right side. Taking that right hand in front of the right knee, opening up the shoulder up towards the ceiling. Taking it down. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, taking it down. More times here. Meet symmetrically, lying completely down. Just moving in and out of rolling the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. You can use your hands to help push you up very, very gently into a seated position. Maybe opening up your arms at the top, drawing those shoulder blades together. Inhaling, circle sweeping those hands to meet at the top. Then on your exhale, waterfalling the hands down, down, down along the thighs, down along the ground, back down into that supported child's pose. Taking as much time as you need, eventually rolling back up vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. Gently opening up the heart, reaching up the hands for the ceiling, and then waterfalling the hands down. So penduluming in and out of contraction, holding the body in safety, opening up. It might feel nice to even very gently as your hands come down, massage out the thighs, or even so you can push into the thighs, or you can kind of gently hit them with your fist, massage through your thighs as you come down. Maybe two more times here. Next time you're in that seated position, we'll take the bolster out to the side. We'll take the blocks out to the side. If you want to, you can tuck your toes here. And we'll take our hands to our thighs. Start pushing your hands into the thighs, starting to engage your core, engage the muscles in the ribs, engaging the muscles in the shoulders, the arms, pushing into your hands. Let it go. Take a deep breath in. Hold at the top, start engaging those muscles in that order. And then on your exhale, push your hands into your thighs. Once again, breathing in. Starting to engage the muscles as you hold the breath in that order. And on your exhale, pushing it out through your hands. So we're engaging the core muscles in the core and moving the energy from the core out through our hands into our thighs. And start to take your hands down to the mat. And the same idea here now, down into the mat. Letting go of that core engagement. And when you breathe in and you hold your breath at the top, start engaging those muscles in that order. On the exhale, push out through your hands into the mat. Taking your time, relaxing as you need to. When you're ready again, doing that same breath, breathing in, holding the breath at the top, engaging the core. Exhale, push it out through the hand. This time, we'll do a very similar thing, but we're going to engage the muscles in the core, then the muscles in the glutes and the thighs, and then pushing out into the feet and the shins. So once again, letting go of the engagement, breathing in, holding the breath at the top, starting to engage the muscles in the core, through the glutes, through the legs. On the exhale, push out through your feet. Letting it go as you need to whenever you're ready again to engage. Same thing, breathing in. Starting to engage the muscles up as you hold the breath at the top. Exhale, push it out. And this time, we'll get ready. Put your hands in a way where it's easy for you to move into a down dog or into a puppy if that feels better for you, if you don't want to take a full down dog. So taking your hands and your feet in a way that is going to make it really easy for you to push up into down dog. Once again, exhale, let it go. On your next inhale, hold your breath at the top. Start engaging those muscles through the core, but we're going to start engaging the muscles through the arms and the legs this time, both at the same time. Then on the exhale, pushing up, letting it go, letting go of the engagement. Once again, breathing in, starting to engage the muscles. Exhale, pushing out through the hands and the feet. Taking any sort of vinyasa here that feels supportive for you. Maybe moving forward into plank, lowering down through chaturanga, opening up the heart, really breathing in as you open up the heart, finding a sense of relief and expansion here. Exhaling, pushing back into a puppy or a down dog. Breathing. Taking another vinyasa flow that feels supportive for you, whether you're moving through plank or knee plank. Opening up the heart, pausing to find that sense of relief. Exhaling, engaging that core and pushing muscle, the energy out through the feet and the hands. If you're in down dog, option to shake out the hips a little bit here. Eventually, one way or another, we'll lower back down onto your bellies. Taking the hands out in front of you. On your inhale, you can start drawing your hands in a circle as you reach them back behind you. Lifting up the chest very gently. Exhaling, drawing a circle, taking your hands back in front of you. Inhaling. Exhaling. And as you do this, you can start to imagine that you're opening up a portal into a sparkling pool of healing water, of healing, sparkling water on the ground below you. You don't like water, you can also imagine sand. As you're starting to activate some healing, sparkling energy. Be it in Sphinx pose. Breathing here for just a moment. And now that you've activated that healing, sparkly pool, it starts to open up around behind you to your feet. You can start flipper kicking your feet in the healing, sparkling water that you've activated. And as you start flipper kicking your feet around, start splashing some healing water onto you. And take your hands and scoop it up, splash it into your face a little bit. Or maybe it's more of a misty energy that you're rotating and curating up and around you. It's moving through your body, allowing all of your cells to rejuvenate. Letting go of any tension in the muscles as it seeps into your body. It relaxes every part of you. One way or another, we'll make our ways onto our back. Starting to get ready for Shavasana. If you're not quite ready for it yet, if there's any little last wiggles you need to take, now is your time. Taking some last little wiggles. Starting to make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. Do you need to grab a prop? Do you need to grab a blanket or a sweater? We're moving in and out of Malasana and star pose at the very beginning of class. We're moving out of squatting and standing. So one option that can be really nice to kind of continue that energy is to take star pose on your back by opening up your hands above your head wide as they want to go and opening up your feet wider than the mat. Only if that feels satisfying. Allowing your body to take as much space as you possibly can. Allowing yourself to just fully let go here. We'll take 3 breaths together, and then we'll fully let it go. So on the inhale, Imagining that the spine is growing longer, the legs are growing taller, and the hands as well. Maybe holding the breath at the top as you feel some tension start to expand your body even further. Exhale, let it go like you're sinking into the mat. Breathing in, the body grows wide and taller, taking up as much space as you can, holding the breath for a moment at the top, expanding like a balloon. Exhale, sink into the mat. And last one. Breathing in fully, expanding as wide as you possibly can grow, as tall as your arms can go, as long as your feet can go. Holding for just a moment. Exhale, letting it go like you're sinking into the sand at the beach. Starting to bring the awareness back into the body if it's drifted away, back into the room, deepening the breath, maybe starting to engage any part of the body that helps you bring your awareness back into the body, helps you bring some alertness back into yourself. deepening the breath even more, wiggling some more parts of the body that feel easy to you until the motions get bigger. Eventually, the knees hug into the chest, maybe pausing for just a moment, breathing deep into the belly, maybe all the way into the hips. Taking your time, either keeping the eyes closed or with a soft gaze, making your way ever so gently into a seated position. Important to take some time to ground and rejuvenate yourself. Thank you all so much for coming in. We appreciate you, and hopefully, I'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your day.